Hello, I'm Dr. Lisa Della Rivia. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about the effects of diet on blood glucose levels. You may have heard of the terms high glycemic index or high glycemic load of food. What that means is that it's a measure of the effect of consuming a food on blood glucose levels. For example, if you were to eat sugar, 3 tablespoons of sugar, it would cause a very rapid rise in blood glucose levels, a very rapid spike, which would need to be counteracted through the effects of insulin, because we cannot keep those blood sugar levels elevated because of the damage it does to the body's cells. Sugar would be on that scale would have a glycemic index of 100, and other foods are measured against that to see what the effect of those foods is on the blood sugar. So whole foods with fiber and with some fat have exactly the opposite effect. They cause a very, very gradual rise in blood sugar levels. They're not absorbed as readily, and they're not converted to sugar as quickly, and so we don't need as much insulin to counteract the effect of those foods on our blood sugar. They're much healthier from that point of view because we don't see the damage caused by the high blood sugar when we consume those foods. So focusing the diet on low GI or low GL, low glycemic index or low glycemic load foods, and you can easily look this up on the internet. If you just Google it, you'll get lists of food giving you an indication of what they actually do to the blood sugar in the form of a score. It's very logical. These are foods with a lot of fiber that are unprocessed, with very low sugar content. Those are going to be the healthy foods. So the general wisdom of eating more vegetables, eating more whole grains, that's exactly what we need to do. It's also very useful to eat protein with every meal and to eat a little bit of healthy fat with every meal. Healthy fats are again unprocessed, certainly unhydrogenated fats, so closer to how they exist in nature. Something like an avocado or whole nuts would be the best. Those contain fats in their natural form. They haven't been modified or processed in any way. And stay away from refined, ultra-processed oils like commercial sunflower oils, canola oils. Those are not good for you. So the effects of a diet that contain a lot of these processed foods, ultra-processed foods, the type of thing you would get in a box with a list of ingredients listed, such as most commercial breakfast cereals, refined oils, packaged foods, biscuits, all of these foods. A very interesting study was done recently where they followed a large group of people over time, and they just looked at how many of these processed foods do people consume in a day, and what was the effect after 3 years or 5 years on their cardiovascular health. In other words, the incidence of stroke, of heart attacks, of angina, and so forth, heart failure. And they found that for every one ultra-processed food that was consumed per day, there was an increased risk of between 5 and 8% for a heart attack or stroke. Now, if you consider how many foods we actually do consume as a population that are very processed, breakfast cereal in the morning, they even included commercial breads, so loaves in a plastic packet, either white or brown, Coke or other soft drinks, processed meats, processed unwhole grains such as white rice or refined grains in any form, flours. These are all processed foods. When we consider how many of these we consume as a population, we can see the profound effect on cardiovascular health that this is going to have. So those are the foods you would want to avoid and rather focus on. As I say, when you do your shopping, stay in the produce aisle, stay in the vegetables, the whole unprocessed meats, the eggs, stay on the periphery. Don't go into the center aisles where you have packaged foods with lovely big boxes and colorful, enticing pictures on the cover and a whole long list of ingredients. Those are the foods you need to avoid. Aim for as many vegetables and fruits as you can in a day, at least 5 servings. Try and eat the rainbow, so eat a variety, something from every color group. You could look at purple, beetroot, red, tomatoes, orange, carrots, pumpkin, and so forth. Try and greens are very, very good, spinach. So every day try and get something from every color group to ensure that you get a lot of fiber and a lot of nutrient-dense foods in your diet. Thank you so much for listening.